Okay, the GPS software has me at 65 miles today, which is possible because, oh man, this wind is going to be awful. I had really good conditions, so I was long downhill, good tailwind. I had a section where I was grinding up the hill for 10 miles, but I still had a tailwind on that, so could be 60, 65 miles. That's probably about right. So that's a pretty good day. We're about 30 miles from the Death Valley Park, although I'm in the park, so I put a marker at 35 miles, and then from there we're going to turn back to the west and get out of this area. So if I have decent conditions tomorrow, I should just buzz out of here. Because from here I got to drop about 2,000 feet down to Death Valley, and I got to turn around and climb back out again. So, and I think the forecast tomorrow is cloudy, which would actually be good. Okay, I think that's it for now. I'll probably just edit this and then save it for upload tomorrow, so if you can hear any of this, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. And let's try to remember why we're doing this in the first place. It's not just about me. I'm trying to raise awareness for the 22 veterans that are committing suicide every day. So if you know a veteran, check in on them, see how they're doing, and maybe go for a bike ride. Alright, that's it for now. Later on. Alright, another day. Yeah, it's about 6:45 now on the 26th of April. Got a gentle breeze, but it's actually a pretty warm breeze. I still got my jacket and stuff on, but it's not really cold. The weather app said about 57 degrees, something like that. So, yeah. Looking at the map, I think basically by taking the wrong road, I'm not going really any further. It's just going to be on different roads. I'm about, I don't know, 10 miles from a little town, so I'll stop there and get some more water and stuff. Since it is going to be warm here, so anyway, yeah, I'm about half packed up already, so. With where the hill is, the sun didn't come up for, I don't know, half an hour later or something like that, so robbed me of time, man. I still got up at 6 though, so yeah. Ate some trail mix this morning. That stuff's pretty heavy, so you might as well eat it and lighten the load. Anyway. Yeah, it was a good night last night. Really wasn't windy. I was kind of concerned about that, being in, way up high and then in a canyon like this, right? But the wind really didn't blow very much. It did a couple times, but not very hard, so got lucky there. It could have been worse. Got nearly a full charge on the battery. I haven't even flipped the panels over. I think I'll just leave them. The hill that I climbed, there's about maybe a mile more up, I think, and then I'll be coasting down, and after that I don't really know. I'll figure it out when we get there. But I think, just looking at the terrain here, I came up through this valley here, and I'm going to be going on the other side of those hills. So a lot of these roads seem to be, it would make sense to make a windy road that goes between the hills, kind of thing. So looking at the map, some of them are kind of windy, so eventually we'll get to 178. So just look for 178 that goes through Ridgecrest, and you'll figure out where I'm going. Ridgecrest is where Naval Weapons Test Center China Lake was. That was my first duty station in the Navy. Yeah, let's put a Navy base in a dry lake bed out in the middle of the desert. Nobody will ever think to look for it there. Good place to blow things up. Yeah. Anyway, a little bit of clouds, but not too much. I think we should do okay on solar today. Okay. So I'll just wrap everything up and head on out here. Yay! Okay, 7:30 in the morning, jacket off, sweatpants off, sweatshirt off. The wind is coming from that way, but I'm going to end up going more or less that way after I get around the hill. I'm going to hit that little town and load up on stuff. Mostly I think I'm just going to grab Gatorade and water. I got plenty of food. Yeah. Unfortunately, everything I need, I mean every single thing I need is heavy. The stuff I could throw away doesn't weigh anything. It's just not fair. Okay, I'll always feel better when I get rolling, so let's just do it. Yeah. Alright, 8 o'clock and I've been on the road for a while. This is a good way to start the day. Just thought that looked kind of cool. What am I, 900 miles from home and I got the same weeds? I never can tell the difference between sage and mesquite, but I got most of those same plants in my yard. Anyway, bit of haze that way. Some from the wind, I guess. Anyway, up yonder, a little town. It's got a dollar store. I'm going to buy a gallon of water and maybe a Snickers bar. And we're heading towards Death Valley. What's in the name, right? Not much I can add to that. I know you're not supposed to do it here, but hey. The only thing that looks substantial enough to lean against. And we had to get the charge, so let's see, how are we doing? Ended up burning a lot of battery coming into town somehow. Yeah, we're getting 1.2 amps. Not great, but okay. Okay, gallon of water, 2 Mountain Dews, 2 Snickers. That should be good for Death Valley. Yeah. So I'm going to refill the empty bottles, and I guess we'll just store what's left in the bottle, the gallon bottle, bungee it somewhere, and off we go. I was laughing when I saw the map because, oh, that sign there says Death Valley. You can't see it from here probably. Maybe. Anyway, Death Valley National Park. That sounds like a good place to go visit. Anyway, the road to Death Valley from this angle, where I am now, is literally right next to the Dollar General. I'm like, that's perfect. Now I don't have to go all the way into town. This actually, it does look like it had a lot of stuff here. There was a Denny's, but since it's been a few days since the last shower, and the little girl at the table next to me at the last Denny's was wrinkling up her nose, so I'm like, yeah, we're not quite, even though it is April, we're not April fresh anymore. That's a big one. I'm wondering if they got water tanks, if that means they aren't hooked up to city water here. Just one of those things you'd notice if you lived off grid. Let's go there. Okay. I don't know if it makes it more scary or less seeing it on a sign. That sounds like a good place for a national park though. Getting into some seriously rugged looking country here. That's a dry lake bed out there. This road is kind of picking its way between the peaks right now. Coming down. I got about 20 miles of downhill coming up here, so that should be a good day. Yeah, I can't imagine coming through here on covered wagon pulled by oxen or something like that if you didn't know actually where you were going. You'd never figure it out. I mean, yeah. All right, long, straight, gradual downhill. This is going to be wonderful. We are literally like 1 or 2 hills over from where I camped last night. Basically over there. Yeah. That's what the landscape is here. It's like you don't just break over one range, it's just continuous range after range after range. So the roads are going diagonally between the ranges. And you can't really go the opposite way unless you get around the end of the range. So you climb a little bit and then you drop down into the next valley. So, yeah. It's fun to ride through. I do not want to walk through here. Well, definitely no signal out here. If anybody saw my post on Facebook, it was just about a mile ago. I think where I camped is on the other side of that hill. Well, it's not the sign I was expecting, but out in the middle of nowhere, I guess that's good enough. Just crossed state line into California. I think that's 8. I'll count later. Also, it's windy. You got a crossing, kind of a crossing headwind. I'm making okay. It's just bouncing me around a lot. Pretty good crosswind here. Got about 5 more miles and then I turn. It should be okay after that. Just about blowing me off the road though. Yeah. I think I'm on 160 now. Death Valley Junction is just back there a ways. At least in the area I came through, I didn't see any businesses open except for the dispensary where they're growing their own marijuana. There's a lot of cars there. Getting a little bit of cloud cover, which is great for me, but not so good for the bike. I've got a pretty good crossing wind going this way. This is just the perfect shoulder. No waste, but it's a really smooth road right now. So I'm loving this. Just before I get to that hill, we're going to turn right and that'll put the tailwind, or put the crossing wind at my back again. So we should be fine. It's about 4 miles to there, I think. And I'm about 40 miles from Death Valley. I don't think I'll make it today because it's already after 1 o'clock, about 1:30. So even with a crazy tailwind, I'm going to be short of Death Valley, so I'll be just looking for a spot to pull off again. And we'll see what the wind brings tomorrow. It's about 85 degrees here according to the weather app. I just put that. Pretty much, probably the last week and the next 2 weeks are going to look about the same until I get to the coast. Then it'll look nice again. Well, really, California looks about like this anyway. Well, I guess, to be correct, I'm in California now. Yeah. Let's see, Texas and then the 4 corners. So that was New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Arizona. That's 5, 6 is Nevada. 7 is California, I think. Probably been to more states than most Americans, but I don't remember them all. This area looks a lot like where I camped. We've got this almost uniform layer of rocks, except this one's still got the bigger ones laid in here. But it almost looks like they were just spread out and packed down. I'm wondering if it's just because the sand all blew away and left all the rocks. Then you get that once in a while rain, kind of level everything out again. Anyway, check out the layers on this rock. Let's see. That one's got nice diameter. turbulent. And that one is completely different again. It's like just not consistent. One of the science video channels that I watch on YouTube was talking about this, and apparently the Death Valley area should be lower than it is, like at least 1,000 foot lower, because the fault lines are pulled apart there. But because it is low, all the sediment washes into it and keeps it from getting too deep. Otherwise, it would be really deep. It'd be like a trench, right? And looking at this, it's starting to make sense. So you get the faults, and the earth just tore. Part of it pushed up, part of it pulled down. So those layers that would have been level are like 45 degrees now. That must have been something when it happened. Probably a long time ago. Pretty weird. Anyway, I just thought this was kind of cool. All of these broke off of the big hills and then washed down with the rain when it happened. I get the same on my property. You'll see just trenches of big rocks just laid out there. And you look at the hill behind it and they all match. Okay, we're back up to 3,000 feet, which is nothing compared to what I have been. I just thought these hills looked pretty cool, so, and I needed a break, you know. I gotta say though, if you're gonna go up a hill, do it with a tailwind. It does seem to help. Almost 3 o'clock. I've been grinding up this hill since, it's about 10 miles. Death Valley Junction. First it was gradual, then it was kind of steeper. It's not super steep, it's just long. I think I'm at the top finally. I gotta think they planted these because I don't see them out there anywhere. But there's a whole line of them here for about the last half a mile. And yeah, there's some bees in there. Or what is that, a moth? I don't know. A couple more up here. But in Texas, they started a program, President Johnson's wife, Lady Bird, I think. It was her idea. So in Texas, when he was the governor of Texas, I think. Oh, lizard. There's some areas where just all the entire ditch is just completely covered in wildflowers. So they went out and sprayed seeds. And then after they got going, they picked ones that would grow every year. And it's just beautiful. We have like bluebells and stuff like that. It's just gorgeous out there. So I got to think this is probably planted and then they're going to take off after that. Scenic route. Yeah, these guys are still growing out here, so. Yeah, they are like within the first 10 feet of the highway, then you don't see them, so they had to be seeded. It's a nice touch though. And this is freshly paved. So maybe they did that as part of the highway project. Hopefully they last for a few years. That's kind of cool. Everybody should do that. Okay, after spending the last 3 hours climbing, now we're dropping again. It's just not fair. This is nice though. We're officially in parkland. It's a fee area. I haven't seen a place to pay yet. Ooh, hawk just popped up over there, right on top of the little ridge. Oh, back down again. Yeah, he's just cruising. There's a hawk just catching the ridge lift. Probably just out of sight now. Anyway, this is nice. I'm kind of looking for a little spot to duck off that would actually be hidden from the road without being too difficult. I just passed the sign that says you're not supposed to drive off-road. I'm sure that doesn't apply to bicycles though. If they put up a nice sign, I might as well stop and get a picture with it, right? Home of the Timbisha Shushan. I'm going to assume that's a native population. Just a few feet past that little valley, it was dead calm in there, and all of a sudden out here the wind is just howling. Man, look at this. Holy cow. That's crazy. Well, I'm sure this isn't what they had in mind, but anyway. About 4 o'clock, getting 3 amps of charge right now, which is about as good as it gets. With 3 hours before sunset, I should have a full charge. So this is a pretty spectacular place. Wind is from that side, so if I put the cot down here in the wash, oh, by the way, no rain forecast tonight, so I'm not going to die. Don't worry. I should have some shelter by getting down behind the berm. Those are just amazing over there. I got a shot from there was a check-in kiosk. Oh yeah, apparently the options are car for $30, motorcycle for $25. No options for bicycle. Automated system, so swipe your credit card and be legal. And my thought was, if it's a $25 fee, the fine would be extreme. So probably best off to pay the fee and not try to protest the bicycle fee. Especially if we're living on the fringe anyway. Yeah, those colors are pretty cool. It's like almost a yellowish, it's not a sulfur color, maybe it's just ceramics or like a clay color. So the one sign said, do not drive off of designated road. This is a designated service road with a big circle and slash, no camping. So yes, I did witness the sign that I went past. At least I'm off the actual road so I don't get ran over. And yeah, anybody with half a headlight will see me if they're coming down the road. So, oh man, is that a hawk or a vulture? It's big. Earlier today I see a hawk flying and a raven or a crow buzzing. I'm trying to chase him away, and the hawk was just doing lazy circles, and the raven just didn't have the wingspan to cope with that. It was just hilarious. He's trying. The hawk was just like, nope. Okay, my eyes are officially burning from something in the wind, so I'm gonna find my allergy meds and get out of the wind here for a bit. Pretty good day though. I didn't check miles yet, and I have no service out here at all as far as I can see, so we'll get the video edited and upload it when I can. Yeah, okay. Okay, the GPS software has me at 65 miles today, which is possible because, oh man, this wind is going to be awful. I had really good conditions, so I was long downhill, good tailwind. I had a section where I was grinding up the hill for 10 miles, but I still had a tailwind on that. So could be 60, 65 miles. That's probably about right. So that's a pretty good day. We're about 30 miles from the Death Valley Park, although I'm in the park, so I put a marker at 35 miles. And then from there, we're going to turn back to the west and get out of this area. So if I have decent conditions tomorrow, I should just buzz out here. Because from here, I got to drop about 2,000 feet down to Death Valley. Then I got to turn around and climb back out again. So, and I think the forecast tomorrow was cloudy, which would actually be good. If I'm mostly downhill, not Okay. I think that's it for now. I'll probably just edit this and then save it for upload tomorrow. So if you can hear any of this, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next one. And let's try to remember why we're doing this in the first place. It's not just about me. I'm trying to raise awareness for the 22 veterans that are committing suicide every day. So if you know a veteran, check in on them, see how they're doing, and maybe go for a bike ride. All right, that's it for now. Later on.